Hello and welcome to JP Murray's Association Hustle podcast. President of the Murray Company, JP's mission is to arm today's associations with insight and strategy to thrive in a progressively complex and competitive business landscape. 21st century associations must move forward with a little bit of hustle and revenue development at their core. Here's JP.
Hey, it's great to be with you this week. November 1st, 2020, a historic week for our country. An election held during a pandemic. Unbelievable takeaways. Unbelievable things that I've learned. I want to pass along a few of those. What are the association lessons from the election? Well, one takeaway is this. Do we look at all the options that we have to engage our members? Are we as associations and organizations going to continue to rely on a legacy model to pull you across the finish line for your members and for them to get value from you? Donald Trump, frankly, used a election day strategy of people showing up to the polls and voting. It's worked for a lot of people for a very long time. But now there's a strategy to just not vote on election day. That's pretty narrow. Now we have absentee, we have mail-in, we have in-person. We have a more diversified strategy to get us more votes and more engagement and more activity. And you have to work hard to make that happen for sure. It takes new strategies. It takes new optimization. It takes new engagement attempts. Now, I don't care really who you were pulling for, Donald Trump or Vice President Biden. But I think what we learned from that is it's not just advocacy. If you're just an advocacy organization, that's pretty narrow. If your non-dues revenue stream is determined by singular meeting that brings in a lot of people at 1 week of the year, and you're not diversifying the delivery system, you might lose opportunities in membership and events and in engagement with your members. So that's the thing that I learned from the election in particular was, are you looking at the playbook and the rules of the game, and are you doing all the things that you can to connect with your membership and to deliver value? I saw from the Marketing General study where 70% of all associations reported increased membership engagement. Listen to that again. Reported increased membership engagement during a time when we have to be socially distanced and in some ways not together like we used to. That's amazing to me. So they need more value from us. Our industries want more services and things from us. We've got to be able to deliver them in a different way rather than just in person during a certain time frame of the year, during your 3-day event, during your Super Bowl, during your election day. That's what I learned from the election. The other thing that was very exciting is a little bit of kind of insights from the field. I went to my first in-person meeting since, I guess, March of this year. It was fantastic. It was great. Limited attendance, well executed by the hotel with masks, social distancing. The events were often outside, or the social events were. The doors were open so the air could flow. All those things they took into consideration. I was more eager to participate in the content and listen and hear people live than I have been in a very long time. Oh my gosh, it was just like my first meeting. I was taking notes and all that stuff. It was fantastic. I will say this, though. The networking was a bit clumsy, especially with people that I didn't know well. It's kind of hard to connect and hard to speak and kind of read people when they've got a mask on and they're 6 feet away. It's a little stiff and a little, less organic. So you tend to kind of connect with the folks that you already know. It was a breakthrough for me. It is possible. It can be done safely for some of your membership. My guess is we're going to see tighter, smaller, more exclusive groups. My expectation is, hopefully, you'll get to see those in the next several months. But it's going to be different than before. And it's likely to be different for some time. Final thought. What an incredible democracy we live in. The process does work. And actually, it wasn't disorderly. It was very orderly. It followed the steps that it was supposed to, regardless of how and if people wanted to change things midstream. System doesn't work that way. We've got a lot of counterbalances. Hey, we weren't used to handling the volume through the system that we have. That's why it took longer, but it did work. And for our associations, especially those that have active government relations programs, Now that this is being settled, my guess is, as I'm broadcasting this podcast, it's likely going to be an amazing opportunity for us. One of the most exciting years of different strategies, different implementation, new Congress, new presidency possibly. An amazing time and opportunity for your groups. And we're going to be with you all the way, giving you insights and thoughts. Hey, I've got a thought for you today. If you would like a complimentary copy of my first ever book, Association Hustle, just email me, jp@murraycompany.com. I'd love to send you a copy. We'll talk next week. Bye-bye.
We hope you enjoyed this edition of J.P. Murray's Association Hustle podcast. We'd love to connect with you. Check out our blogs at murraycompany.com and subscribe to our weekly newsletter. You can also connect with JP on LinkedIn and Twitter at JP Murray, as well as the Murray Company's Instagram and Facebook page. To purchase a copy of JP's book, Association Hustle, Top Strategies for Association Growth, go to jpmurray.com.